I'm going to be going over Chapter 3.2, Section 2, describe the general characteristics of a composite cell. What is a composite cell? Well, it is not possible to describe a typical cell because cells vary greatly in size, shape, content, and function. We can consider that a hypothetical composite cell includes many well-studied structures, starting with the three major parts: the cytoplasm, nucleus, and cell membrane. First, we have the cell membrane, aka it's also called a plasma membrane. It's flexible and elastic. It controls the entrance and exit of substances by a selectively permeable membrane, acting like a barrier between the cell and other fluids in the body. The membrane is also equally composed of equal numbers of lipid and protein molecules, which make a phospholipid bilayer. Next, we have the cytoplasm. When it's stained, it usually looks like appears clear with scattered specks. It contains abundant protein rods and tubules that form supportive frame that we call the cytoskeleton. There are cytoplasmic organelles within. There are ribosomes, and those typically are tiny spherical structures composed of protein and RNA, providing the structural support and enzymes to link amino acids and synthesize proteins. They are bound to the endoplasmic reticulum and are not contained in the membrane as a free-floating substance. The endoplasmic reticulum is a complex organelle composed of membranous flattened sacs, cylinders, and fluid-filled bubble-like sacs. The parts are interconnected and widespread, providing tubular support. The organelles in the cytoplasm, here are some more. There are vesicles, which are sacs that store or transport substances within a cell or between cells. The Golgi apparatus is a sac of 5 to 8 flattened membranous sacs called cisternae, and these look like kind of like a stack of pancakes, as you can see in the image. The mitochondria, which we all know is a powerhouse of the cell, it helps give the cell energy from the food that's digested and goes through a process to make and release ATP. There are lysosomes, which are also known as garbage disposals. They get rid of all the debris out of the cell. There are other cellular structures. While these structures are sometimes not considered as organelles because they're not as complex, they are very important. They have microfilaments, microtubules, and intermediate filaments. Microfilaments are tiny rods of a protein named actin. They form meshworks or bundles. There are microtubules. They're long and slender, 2 to 3 times longer than a filament, and there's intermediate filaments, which I believe are the longest, and they have proteins called lamins, which act with DNA. There's a centrosome and also the centrosome, which is the cytoplasm, which is in the cytoplasm. There's also cilia and flagella, which help the cell move around. You have the nucleus, which we all know is like the brain of the cell. And then within the nucleus is chromatin, which contains the cell's 46 chromosomes. And then there's a nucleolus, which is the small, dense part of the cell. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great evening.